Good morning, and welcome to Hope, Faith, and Joy Daily Devotion with me, Pastor Amanda. So, sitting at Panera today, so hopefully it's not too distracting for everybody. We are looking at chapter 11 of Hosea today, and we find something kind of different going on today with a similar background. But we have this kind of reminiscence that God goes through in Hosea's prophecy and saying, when you were a child, I loved you. So there's that, fatherly, parental love that God is calling it. And then when you were in Egypt, I called you my son. And so I cared for you and I called you out. And, and yet, even in that childhood, you were still disobeying me. But at the same time, I think we recognize that children do that. But then God goes, I walked with you and I took you into my arms. I healed you. I did all these things for you that a parent would do for their child. And, and I fed you, I kissed your cheeks, it says, and yet here you are continuing to try to return to the place that I called you out of. And just this kind of, you see this broken heart that God has for God's people. And just this sense of that I continue to love you. Verse 9 really says something in the midst of all these oracles. I think it really stands out if we pay attention. I will not execute my fierce anger. I will not again destroy Ephraim, for I am God and no mortal, the Holy One in your midst, and I will not come in wrath. It's kind of interesting. I think we see this parental side of God where God can yell and scream and get mad and frustrated, and yet evil will not be done. All these judgments, they're going to come out with consequences for sure, but it's like, it's the parent that screams that, I'm going to kick you out of the house and never kicks the kid out of the house. I mean, that's what we're seeing here with God. God's like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And yet that's not what's going to happen. And it says that they shall go after the Lord who roars like a lion. When he roars, his children will come trembling from the west. I will return them to their homes, says the Lord. And so, again, we just see God's steadfast love in the midst of all of this pain and anguish. God does not want this for the people. This is not what their choices are, not God's punishment, in a sense that these are the consequences that come for making the decisions, but they have a different choice. They have a choice. And God is more ready and excited to see the return than anything. And so, but we still see that there's a sense that Ephraim has surrounded me with lies, and the house of Israel with deceit. But Judah still walks with God and is faithful to the Holy One. So we still see, remember, at the very beginning I said that this is really a judgment more for Israel because Judah's kind of doing a good job. So it's kind of this comparison that God's doing. Like, if you could just start acting like your siblings, it'd be so much better. Just kind of goes to show you how much family systems was going on in the Bible even. And so I think it's important. And I think that's good to hear too, that, maybe some of us are thinking, wow, this is really intense. I need to rethink everything. But maybe we're also the sibling that has to stand by and watch our other sibling destroy themselves in all of their decisions. Maybe we are the good one, just having to watch our parent get so upset, watch our parents and siblings fight in order to try to get something good out of them. And we can recognize the uneasiness of that, of being the one who is trying to be faithful, trying to be good, and watching what's happening to the family structure due to this. Everybody gets affected when people are making unhealthy choices, and gives us an opportunity to reflect, where are we in this scenario? We're definitely not God, but are we the sibling who's making bad choices affecting a lot of people, or are we the one having to kind of stand by and watch others be affected by their decisions? And so it's kind of an interesting place to end today. We will continue on with chapter 12 tomorrow. Thanks for joining me with Pastor Amanda with Hope, Faith, and Joy Daily Devotion. See you tomorrow.